Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So unfortunately, Bitcoin gets rocked by a couple of things. Number one, the SEC. SEC is coming down hard on another project and another exchange. Plus, we have this up-and-coming crypto bill that is set to be introduced tomorrow. So let's talk about these two things and whether or not Bitcoin has become derailed due to them. All right. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com. And make sure you follow a brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel. Welcome, 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 guys. Good evening. Unfortunately, I got to fix my screen here. Unfortunately, Mr. Bart Simpson just showed up. Man, we had a pretty good run up to 31.6 this morning. We cracked. Ooh, it still hasn't fixed it. There we go. There we go. This morning we cracked 31,000. We headed higher to 31.6, and now we are back down a little bit below 30,000. So we had Bart Simpson visit Bitcoin's chart once again. But what is happening exactly? What caused this? Natural phenomenon? Well, I do believe it's caused by two things that I'm going to talk about tonight. First thing has to be SEC. Mr. Gary Gensler, who now is attacking BNB. So we already know that SEC is looking at a lot of crypto projects. I mean, their main mission is not just crypto, but it seems like all they're doing these days is targeting crypto projects. Of course, they have a lawsuit going on with XRP that's been going on for years, but they decided XRP or Ripple is not big enough for them. They want to tackle someone bigger. So they decided to go after BNB, which is a $50 billion project. So the U.S. is now opening an investigation into BNB and whether or not BNB was sold as a security in 2017. I mean, it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years. So doesn't the SEC have anything better to do right now? There's a lot of crypto issues going on right now. There's a lot of scams that's going on right now. So there's a lot of other projects and things that's going on in today's world that they could be looking at. But for whatever reason, they are now going to look at BNB, whether or not they had a legal token sale. But that's not all. They're also going to look at, because Binance does operate several exchanges, Binance.com and Binance.us and Binance.others, but the main two are .us and .com, and they are going to probe Binance.us to see if it's operating legally in the US and that is different from Binance.com. Okay, so not only are they investigating the security sale or the sale itself, they're going to be investigating the exchange, right? So obviously, this is not good. Not good for BNB, although I'm quite surprised that BNB itself is, it's rocked a little bit, but not as bad as I thought, because if you look at compared to Ethereum and others, it's pretty similar. So I thought BNB would sell off more, but it kind of shows you how strong they are. But obviously, it's not good for the entire industry, because after following what happened with Terra and UST and this whole collapse, right? And plus, there's a lot of fear out there already. Now you have the SEC going after another major crypto project. So their reach seems to be endless at this point, right? So I do believe this definitely had something to do with what we're seeing today, okay? So yeah, there's that. I don't know how long this is going to take. This is not an official, lawsuit, not yet. This is just investigation. So maybe this could end sooner than expected. We know CZ has been very careful. CZ has been making sure that they operate legally in all the jurisdictions that they operate in. They separated Binance.us and Binance.com for this reason. They hired some well-prominent people to kind of make sure that the laws are being handled. So, who knows? Maybe this will be over sooner than expected. But this, I do think, is causing a little bit more fear this afternoon than tonight. But I don't believe this is the only thing. I don't believe this is the only reason why. We also have something else that's coming up tomorrow, okay? And that is this. Well, this. There is going to be a crypto bill that will be introduced to Congress, okay, from one of our favorite Congress people, Cynthia Lummis, who is pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto, but she said she's been working on this very, 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 very highly anticipated crypto bill that will be good for the industry and will be introduced tomorrow. Obviously, this is going to bring a lot of attention to crypto, right? Good and bad. We don't know what exactly is in here, but I found this to be interesting. One of the attorneys, Louis Cohen, that has been helping Lummis, said that they are working on basically the jurisdiction of SEC, and they believe that it's legally wrong and fundamentally bad policy for the SEC to basically declare all coins a security, which is what Gary basically said before on record. He said almost every single crypto project out there, in his mind, is a security. Right? And that is one of the things I believe this crypto bill will tackle is the jurisdiction and the reach of the SEC. Do they really have the full authority to just basically declare all projects are securities? And then if so, they can go sue them, every single one, right? This is something that the SEC has been fighting for quite some time. Even a CFTC, who is control commodities and things like Bitcoin futures, have already went after the SEC and said, no, you guys just don't declare everything as a security, right? There are a lot of crypto projects out there that are commodities that are not securities. So even within agencies, they're fighting, right? So I do believe this crypto bill will try to answer a lot of these things. Of course, this is just the very first pass. Does not mean anything introduced is going to be set in stone or become law, but yeah, this is also coming. All right. So these two things, I think, is kind of affecting what's going on right now. Obviously, the SEC attacking a project. You have uncertainty with this crypto bill. That's pretty much it. Now, a lot of people have seem to have turned very negative. The fear index is still high, but again, to put things in perspective, where's Bitcoin now? $29,500, run under $30,000. And are we any lower than this point yesterday? I mean, no. You go back, this is where we were, okay? So did we fall back to some new low, some unseen level? No. I know it's frustrating. Whenever we have situations like this, Bitcoin goes up and then comes back down, but we did form a higher low and we're still going. And it's frustrating to see this, it goes up and comes back down, but you know what? We're still higher than our 25,000. We may be going sideways, but we are holding strong despite all the FUD that's out there, right? And I know a lot of people are getting antsy, sick of hearing things. They want to get out. But ultimately, what they're doing is spreading their fear to others, spreading their FUD to others. And those are the people that you want to ignore, okay? Because they're already fearful, they're already panic sold, or they are just basically spreading their misery around because they want other people to be as miserable as they are. Those are people that you don't want to follow, okay? You want to stay with Bitcoin. You got to stay with Bitcoin. You don't want to let the whales take your Bitcoin off of you because that is what they're doing right now. The whales are stacking at unprecedented levels right now because of the fear, because retail is getting feared out right now, okay? There's a lot of charts that show this. This is from Sentiment, right? Showing how much the whales have been buying. These dips that's been happening, from our 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, up to 30,000, right? Buying by the boatload, by the truckload, okay? Also, if you look at Bitfinex longs, those Bitfinex whales, the long contracts are an all-time high, has never been this high before. And that's usually a precursor to a tremendous pump because that's how they make money. So the whales are not only buying Bitcoin by a truckload, but they're buying future contracts by the boatload, right? That's what the whales do. They want to steal your wealth away from you, right? So don't get discouraged. Focus on the future and definitely ignore the fudders because there are a lot more out there these days that want to spread their misery to you, and you don't want to follow them, okay? And this one shows how much money is on the sidelines. Stablecoin balances on exchange. I mean, you could clearly see, right? Due to all the fear, a lot of people have exchanged the stablecoins, but just wait until the billions and billions of dollars sitting on the sidelines, in this case in stablecoins, wait until they come back. Wait until they come back full force into Bitcoin and some of these oversold alts. As quick as we have fallen, we can see the inverse of that. We could see it quickly rise up back to previous levels, right? There's so much fear right now, but there's also so much money on the sidelines waiting to enter. But you know who's not waiting? Of course, the whales. The whales are already in and buying and buying and buying. And here's another one that actually is a bottom indicator, but also proves my point about whale buying. Right now, if you look at total supply and profit held by short-term holders, this is obviously non-whales, okay? This is retail. And what are retail investors doing? They're panic selling, which is why you could actually measure a bottom from this. You look at previous times when Bitcoin has hit a low or hit a bottom, that's when retail is basically dead. Retail profits have dissipated. And guess what happened to them? They left. So who's left? Who's left in the market? The long-term holders and the whales and the miners. You got to throw in miners in there, right? But we're at that point right now, right? So kind of shows you what's exactly happening right now. So short-term, of course, there's going to be volatility. There always is. There's so much going on right now. Besides what's going on just in the world of crypto with obviously these two news that has happened today, right? But, in the world, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. In the U.S. markets, a lot of fear. Still, people are waiting to see what happens with inflation, waiting to see what happens with a war in Europe, waiting to see what happened with oil prices and bond prices. There's so much going on right now, right? But we will get through it. We will get through it, especially us Bitcoin holders. So don't get discouraged and continue forward. Right. Lastly, there's something else that's I just want to mention because it kind of relates to finding a bottom and focusing on the future, and that is Nancy Pelosi. And why I'm bringing her up is obviously she's the House Speaker. Whether you like her or not, that's irrelevant, but she is one of the most wealthiest Congress people out there. Okay? Her net worth is anticipated to be around $135 million with a $200,000 salary. So you tell me how that makes sense. How she got from $210,000 per year salary to $135 million. And people have looked at her trades, and if she's trading solo and not getting help, she is one of the best traders / investors ever in history, based on her gains, right? And people have noted that she just spent $1 million+ buying call options on Apple and Microsoft for next year. Actually, one of them is for March of next year, and 3 of them are for June of next year. And she just placed $1 million plus. We don't know exactly, but $1 million plus. You can see just this option is 1 million already. It could be 1 million. Here's another one, right? So it's anywhere from $1 to $2 million of long option contracts at Apple and Microsoft. So does she think that the bottom is in and now is the time to stack up on tech, which has been oversold? Quite possibly. And if you look at her track record, maybe we need to pay attention to that. Okay, so just throwing that out there. All right, that's pretty much it. Now let's do some Q&A. I always wonder about how Congress people, they're average Joes, but once they get elected, they become ultra rich, like mega millionaires and billionaires. I always wonder how that how that happens, but I think we can speculate how it happens. Looking through the comments, a lot of people that are not scared, a lot of people that are trying to spread FUD, but there will always be people that spread FUD, and they are the ones that will basically miss out on all the gains. There's always people that spread FUD. They will claim that everyone is an idiot, and they will buy back in once we're near the top because they're too scared to make any moves when things are low. That's how it always is. But every single correction, every single dip, we have, especially the major ones, that's when the smart money, the long-term holders, long-term investors, they buy. They buy the dip or they continue to DCA. And when things come up, they're the ones that's profiting. They're the ones that's building wealth. And I get a lot of emails all the time telling me the same thing, even in a live chat. Many people have been through 2017. Some even have been through 2014. 2014, 2015, then you got 2017, 2018, 2019, right? Even people that bought during 2020, March of 2020, will know that this is nothing, but they can contest that, yeah, buying low, DCAing along the way, and having patience holding works, right? So, yeah. I always knew Pelosi is a trader. I don't know what that has to do with the stock trading, but yeah, she is definitely stocking up on tech right now. So does she know something that we don't? Maybe. Summer, I think you got that right. Eric says, yup. John, if you tuned in late, I already explained. There's 2 big things that's happening right now. All problems, Zach says, all problems lead back to F2 pool. I don't know if that's actually the case, but they definitely have been behind some of the previous dumps that we have seen. Mazzy, I'm grateful for you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. A lot of Pelosi comments I'm going to skip out on. Epic and Gala partnership. I did see something about that. I think it's pretty interesting. Epic Games, they're desperate to get into blockchain and NFTs, and Gala can help them with that. So I think it's a pretty good one. I did have a couple other things. Some people asked about Elrond. Elrond had some kind of hack today with their mayor decks. So they're still looking into it. The details are not 100% released, I guess. Something happened with their decks. We don't know if it's a vulnerability, a smart contract flaw, or some kind of spam attack or something, but that's what happened. And they're not the only ones. This other project called StepIn, they're under DDoS attack after some kind of upgrade. So there's definitely a lot of shady things happening right now. And speaking of shady, I just noticed Do Kwon has basically protected his tweets now. Maybe due to all the hate he's getting, but I can't even see. I can't even see what he's tweeting now because I never followed him in the first place. So I don't know if it's too late to get approved, but yeah, I just want to bring up those things too. John asked about what's your take on BNB? Will CZ be able to fight the SEC? Will the probe do anything? I don't know. I think CZ is a very smart guy. I think Binance has all the money in the world to fight and protect their assets. I think they will be able to protect BNB. This is just in the U.S., by the way, right? So I think they'll be able to fight the SEC. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a year-long, lawsuit like what's happening with Ripple. And I'm pretty sure they already knew this was happening, which is why they came out of Binance.us, right? So I think they'll get through it. I think they'll get through it. XRP updates tomorrow. I don't have any XRP updates. Elliot's asking about the ETH upgrade. I think they're rushing it. No, Elliot. I think you're mistaken. Right now, what they're upgrading is their testnet. They're not rushing their mainnet. That's the reason why they're doing it on their testnet. Because they want to make sure it goes smoothly. If it doesn't, then they have time. The mainnet upgrade is going to be sometime in August, so they still have a couple months. Have you heard about Veracity project? Are you talking about, Veracity? Yeah, I have seen them. I mean, they're kind of streaming play. They have a copyright system that could detect, bots and so forth. And they're into a lot of esports. At least that's what they're trying to get into. They've always been kind of like a small cap. Hasn't gotten a lot of traction. But, it's early for them. It's early. Constellation. I was really bullish on Constellation. It just seems like they kind of died down, and they're working on Constellation, their 2.0 mainnet, but they have some interesting clients, including the U.S. Air Force, right? Those of you guys that watch Top Gun, which is a fantastic movie, but Constellation actually has a big contract with the U.S. Air Force. That's amazing if you think about it, right? So I think they have potential, but they just kind of died out. Latter half of 2021, they just kind of died out, lost a lot of momentum. Do you think Sol can do well long term? Yeah, I think I'm still clinging on hope that the leaders will become more humble in the future and figure out all these issues that they've been having. Right? Because it's still early. They still have time to figure it out because obviously Ethereum has not been able to scale yet. Cardano is not complete yet, right? So they still have time to figure out their network issues. SEC's in the chat. Hey, Gary. Hopefully you liked what I had to say about you. Near Protocol or Polygon, which one's best long term? I don't know about best long term, but I like Polygon more than Near. I think Near is still very new. Polygon has a ton of users on board already, a ton of projects. So I like Polygon a little bit more, but Near is, they're up there too. The Shaolin, I got you. I see what you did there. Gary Gensler is bored. He hates his life. It just makes me wonder. You would think that the SEC, I know they have, recently Gary asked for like way more manpower. You would figure they want to win cases before they move on to new cases, right? But it seems like, they're just attacking so many projects right now. And not just the small ones. They're going after the big dogs, right? That could last and drag on for a long, long time. But yeah, and it's just not BNB and XRP. He's looking at stablecoins too, right? He's looking at stablecoins and looking at various other projects that we probably haven't even heard of yet. So, yeah. Hello from Celine, the realtor in Vancouver. I'm getting off work and buying more BTC. Congratulations and thank you for your support. I hear so much about real estate market, yet I still have not gotten in. Man, I hear so much about getting properties for Airbnb or just rentals. I hear about it all the time. So many people that are doing those things. I just don't know if they're worth it. I don't know. Can't really DC into real estate. I think you can. You just have to take more loans. It's what do they call it? Basically you fix it, you appreciate it, you borrow against it, and then you repeat, right? What do you call it? The Burr method or something? That's what I hear people say. Basically, you just keep borrowing money and keep buying. Basically, yeah, it's an endless loop of borrowing and buying and renting. Why? Why for you? I'm not gonna repeat what you said, but that's really funny. Golden State or Celtics? Well, Golden State pulled one out last night. I said they had to, otherwise they would have lost the series. But I don't know. I was against the Celtics, but now I'm starting to remember why I hated Golden State, because they're just cocky sons of bitches, basically. And Jordan Poole is now another cocky son of a bitch. So I may have to flip sides and go to the Celtics, because now Golden State's really pissing me off. So I don't know. I don't really care about either one. My teams are gone, so I don't really care. But at this point, maybe I would prefer Celtics to win over Golden State. What do you think about VeChain? It seems like a serious business model to me. Yeah, very serious indeed. They have a lot of things going on. Their new stablecoin, right? That's backed by fiat, but also they have big partners, DNVGL and PwC. They're moving to Europe, and they're getting involved with DeFi and Western companies. So I like their future. Christian said it's silly because the news is in favor of BTC, but against all other coins, basically. Hey, Christian, this always happens. Okay, this is why I've always recommended 50, 25, 25, because in bull markets, in bull trends, in major pumps, everyone forgets BTC. People are like, screw it. Why do I need to hold on in a BTC? I can just hold on all altcoins. They move much faster. And those people never lived through a correction like now. Whenever you have a lot of fear and you have corrections, well, Bitcoin, yes, it goes down, but it finds its bottom and it stays put. And all momentum shifts to Bitcoin. That is why right now you're still seeing altcoins kind of dump down, and they're way, way, way off 80, 90% from their highs, when Bitcoin, right, is now finding its footing around 29, 30,000, and Bitcoin dominance is going up. So this is why I've always said don't ignore Bitcoin. You need it for stability and strength, and also for its future growth too, right? But that's the reason. Can you check liquidations? I did check it this morning. There was a lot of short liquidations. I'm imagining there's going to be more long liquidations now because of the SEC news. Yeah, a lot. Again, it shows you how many greedy people there are that went and did 100x leverage, right? You could see that when Bitcoin was coming up, yeah, you had shorts, you had short squeezes and short liquidations, but nowhere as much as the longs. This is why things happen. Part of it, at least, part of it. You have some kind of major FUD. Then you have all these greedy people that are doing like 50, 100x leverage, and then they get liquidated, and then it causes so much sell pressure and comes right back down, right? So, yeah, you just had about 100+ million in Bitcoin liquidated within the last hour. Just within the last hour. And this is just for Bitcoin. If you look at others, probably more, right? So, again, yeah, no good. No good. It's all about greed? Yeah, because there are a lot of greedy people. It does look like market manipulation, whale manipulation. See, like this type of movement, right? If manipulated by some kind of entity or whale, right? I wouldn't mind the SEC looking after that and trying to stop that, instead of attacking legitimate projects and worrying about whether or not in 2017 they had a security sale. That's 5 years past. No one cares about that. People care about what's going on now. Why can't the SEC tackle issues that's going on now versus 5 years ago, right? Again, I don't know who determines who to investigate or how that works, but yeah, that's how it works. 100x leverage is bad, but 125 is good. Yeah. All right. What happens to BTC that gets liquidated? It gets sold to who? To the opposite side. It's a zero-sum game. People that get liquidated and get wrecked. There's on the opposite side, people that are shorting, that are making the money. Right? So there's always winners. And exchanges always wins too, because they collect the fees no matter what happens to you. So yeah, be careful. Just be careful. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Tomorrow will be a big day. Tomorrow will be definitely a big day, not only because of the SEC investigation, which is ongoing now into Binance and BNB, but specifically tomorrow, we will see what happens with the new crypto bill that will be introduced by Senator Cynthia Lummis, and we'll see how that goes. Whether or not that is going to bring some positive light to Bitcoin or not. I'm thinking so. She's a big Bitcoin bull. She wants to make sure that the U.S. government is regulating crypto in a fair and reasonable manner, right? And not let the likes of Gary Gensler go wild and do whatever he wants, right? So I'm thinking this is going to be a good thing, but we'll see. This will be introduced tomorrow, and we'll see if it causes anything that happens. Okay? We'll see. All right. In the meantime, though, stay strong, my friends. I know it's frustrating to see Bitcoin go up and then down and up and down, Bart Simpson left and right, but it always happens. Near term, day to day, hour by hour, sometimes minute by minute, you'll see this. Long term, focus on that. Long term, Bitcoin is going in one direction and one direction alone, right? And we know why, because it's the safest and best asset that there is right now. And that is why you want to stack up while things are still low. All right? That's what the whales are doing. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.